Okay, class, once again, good day. So, for our topic this morning, our topic is all about the food presentation. And our learning objectives of this lesson: at the end of the lesson, grade 10 students should be able to first identify common and basic elements of plating. Second, perform one basic elements of plating unless we have observed safety and sanitation while working in the kitchen. Introduction. We all know that food is one of the basic needs of a person to survive. Eating has been part of our daily living and to have it appreciated by everybody. The food preparer ensures that the presentation is awesome, not just appetizing to the taste buds but also to the eyesight. Together, let us discover how to present food for an excellent dining experience. Food presentation. It is the art of modifying, processing, arranging, or decorating food to enhance its aesthetic appeal. The visual appeal and its presentation of a dish is as important as its flavor. The initial attraction of food comes from the visual appeal. A combination of colors, textures, decoration, and garnishes increase the aesthetic appeal and can also enhance the flavor of some dishes. And now, here are the fundamentals of plating. Plating. A food refers to presenting the item on a plate in a way that is tempting and appealing. Since your eyes view the food even before you take the first bite, plating the food in an attractive manner becomes a very important part of any dining experience. Balance, unity, focus, and flow are primary considerations when placing food on the plate. And now let's proceed to the methods of plating. The first method of plating is the clock method. The clock method of culinary plating requires chefs to think of their plate as the face of the clock. A foolproof way to arrange food on a plate is to place carbohydrates at 11 o'clock, the vegetables at 2 o'clock, and the protein at 6 o'clock from the diner's point of view. And you can see here the example of the clock method. The second method of plating is the stacking method. It is a technique that adds a dimension of height to culinary plating, forcing the diner's eyes to move upward. In the picture shows, it is an example of the stacking method. The third method of plating is the sauces. The presentation of your sauce can ruin your plating appearance or enhance it depending on how the sauce is added. And here is the example of the sauces method. The fourth method of plating is the garnishes. They serve as an accent to perk up or highlight the color of the main dish. It is meant to enhance and match the flavors of the dish, not overpower it. And here it shows the example of the garnishes. And now we are done of the methods of plating, and let's proceed to the basic elements of plating. The first basic elements of plating is to create a framework. Start with drawings and sketches to visualize the plate. Find inspiration from a picture or object, a symbol, a practice plate to work on and executing. The second element is to keep it simple. Select one ingredient to focus on and use space to simplify the presentation. Clutter distracts from the main elements of your dish and might it confusing for the diners to figure out what to focus on. The third element of plating is to balance the dish. Play with colors, shape, and textures to ensure diners are not overwhelmed. The presentation should never overpower flavor and function. The fourth element is get the right portion size. Ensure that there is the right amount of ingredients and that the plate complements the dish, not too big or too small. Strike the right proportion of protein, carbohydrates, vegetables to create nutritional balanced meal. The fifth element of plating is the highlight the key ingredient. Ensure the main ingredient stands out, but also pay equal attention to other elements on the plate. such as garnishes, sauces, and even the plate itself. And now we're done of the basic elements of plating, and now let's proceed with the tips on how to make garnishing last. First, to maintain and heighten the color of the fresh vegetables, blanch them before using them to make garnishes. Simply immerse the produce in boiling water for 1 minute, drain and plunge into a large bowl filled with ice water or rinse quickly under very cold running water. Always dry the ingredients thoroughly before use. And now the second tips to prevent drying out. Keep garnishes away from air and heat. If possible, protect them with an airtight covering of plastic wrap. Third tips, it's always best to make garnishes just before serving, but some can be prepared ahead of time and assembled on a plate at the last minute. For tips, garnishes like you would store similar foods if made with ingredients that are normally refrigerated, wrap in plastic wrap or store in an airtight bag or container and refrigerate. Fifth tips, if the ingredients are crispy or dried, or if they are need to firm up, do not refrigerate. Store it in a cool, dry place for several hours or over time. 6 tips. Some cut up or carved vegetables can be prepared in advance and covered with ice water until you are ready to assemble the finished presentation. Be sure to drain and dry them off well before placing the garnishes on the plate. 7 tips. Add garnishes to the food just before serving. Okay, we're done of our discussion. So do you have questions and clarifications, class? And class, if you don't have any questions and clarifications, let's proceed to your activity. So direction, do a plating presentation as an application of your understanding on the basic elements of plating and take a picture of the finished product. Identify what elements of plating you use. Also observe safety and sanitation in making the activity. So here are the rubrics in grading. So workmanship 30%, presentation 40%, element of plating used 30%, total of 100%. Okay class, that's all for today. Thank you and God bless us all.